Nowadays, 83% of the Indian workforce prefers to be entrepreneurs.
Wow, that's over 400 million people.
I know, that's crazy. Would you ever consider trying to be an entrepreneur?
I'd love to be an entrepreneur, and I've already learned a lot from our speakers, and I'm eagerly awaiting to hear from our future speakers.
I completely agree. Our next session features Mr. Balasakthikumar, who is a tech consultant, servant leader, and investment educator in our community, who drives positive charge and makes an impact in his area of expertise. Let's have a round of applause for Mr. Balasakthikumar.
Good evening, everyone. Am I audible? Yes. Thank you. So the good news is, we are going to start the snacks in next couple of hours, okay? So we are getting closer. So we will not take that much time. And in next 30 minutes, we are going to have, going to meet some elegant people, diversified people in different domains. And they are going to give some interesting insights on alternative investments, okay? So let's welcome them.
Velu Raman. Velu Raman's experience is rich and varied, spanning across business intelligence to helping people get a lot closer to financial independence through his real estate investment consulting. He is a real estate entrepreneur serving investors all over the US and plays a vital role in the Dallas, Texas Tamil community through his non-profit Sastha Tamil Foundation and Plano Tamil School. Gomathy Periathiruvadi. Gomathy Periathiruvadi is a highly experienced CFO, investor and strategy leader with over 20 years of proven success in various industries such as telecommunications, energy, retail, e-commerce, fintech, construction and rent-to-own. With a strong background in financial and operational leadership, Gomathy has a proven track record of excellence in P&L management, vendor relationships, corporate finance strategy, organizational restructuring, revenue optimization and integration, forecasting, budgeting and modeling. Jeyamariappan, Mari, has decades of experience in technology and personal finance and investment areas, and he founded Samatva Wealth Management LLC, a registered investment advisor, and provides independent fiduciary, financial planning and investment advice to individuals, families and small businesses. Services include asset management, retirement planning, financial planning, college savings plans for kids, life insurance selection, mortgage refinancing help, living will and trust help, and transferring assets from India.
Our final panelist is Srinivasa Dhamodharan. Srinivasa Dhamodharan, a multifaceted entrepreneur with a diverse portfolio of successful ventures. He serves as the designated broker at John Christie Real Estate Property Services and owns Anjappar Chettinad Restaurant. Additionally, Srinivasa is the proprietor of Sai Foods and Snacks, a manufacturing warehouse, and holds the position of president at InfoSize Technology.
Thank you. Hey, Mari. Welcome, Mari. Hello, Gomathy. Welcome to the panel. Hello, Velu. Welcome, Mr. Srini. Thank you. Have your seat. You want to have on the center stage? So, yeah. All right. So I said like they have a variety of experience in different fields, and so let me start with Mr. Velu. So Velu is the CEO of Sasa Realty Capital, and you have seen his diversified experience. Velu, I want to start like what is your identification criteria. If I am an investor, so what type of investment is suitable for me? Like accredited, so multiple options are there. So how you will identify?
Welcome. First of all, congratulations to you all for being here. It's a great evening and it's a pleasure to be here today. The investment we can call it as a vehicle. When we celebrate they are all investing in something where they can get 10x, 70x and all that, right? So that is like a jet plane.
Right.
But when somebody wants to invest, they don't want to get there because he also said that out of 10, maybe 3 may be very successful, not all the 10.
Right.
So it's very risky. So the beginners, they want to invest in single family, where, say for example, about 4 years ago, people those who have invested $30,000 to buy a $150,000 property. Now the property value is $350,000.
Okay.
So potentially they made about $200,000.
Sorry for that.
Check.
Thank you, Balaji.
Potentially they made this about 700%, right? So they didn't even realize that they were going to do it. ஸோ இப்போ பேங்க்லேயே பணத்தை சேஃபாக பண்ண வச்சுக்கணும்னு வச்சுருக்காங்க 0% கூட கிடைக்காது. சில பேருக்கு மியூச்சுவல் ஃபண்ட் வச்சுருக்காங்க. All right. So the end of the day, if somebody has not invested in anything, right, not even in stocks or something like that, then probably they want to go slower. But single family is a good one to start with, and then later on they move into certain other vehicle like apartment investment. Then finally the VC fund and all that, we will talk about it. Thank you.
Thank you. So, Mr. Srini, so from the place where Mr. Velu left, so you played around in a variety of domains within the real estate, and you settled down in land investment, right? So that is one of the few people who focus more on the land. Can you explain your journey a little bit so that we want to know why land investment is very attractive?
Of course, but before answering that question, I would like to state something to the audience and everybody here, that right now with whatever is going around the world, the instability, the stock market and things like that, we used to call that in Tamil, man pol. So I think I'm in a very good area right now. I'm in man, that is land. So I started my real estate endeavor back in 2008, where initially for 2 years I was doing house flipping. So buy a distressed property, rehab it, either lease it if I don't get the equity right then, or just if the equity is more, just go ahead and then flip it. So then those were the days where we had a better market, we had better products out there, and I was able to make some good margins. But then later it started going down and down, and then I did invest in a couple of multifamily deals where I was a passive investor, and then I thought probably, those things are not my cup of tea. Even now we do some residentials, but that's not my main area of focus. So, then I thought about going into the land. Those days it was a big shell. To be honest, most of the Indian people who used to do real estate those days, they didn't get into that. And I was one of the few in the earlier days that I could get into the market, luckily. And then I started working myself into more speculative deals where I help my clients buy speculative land investments, make them wait for kind of a exit strategy, and then usually about 50 to 60 times the value.
That is the thing it's pulled you, right? Great. We'll come back to talk more in detail. Sure. So now let's connect with another versatile woman, Gomathy Periathiruvadi. Gomathy is the CFO for Alita Systems. Hope you have seen it. And you made from 0 to 100 million through your merger and acquisition skills, mainly. I want to know, like, what if I am an investor, right? What you will see in me? If I'm in a startup, I'm looking for an investor. If you are an investor, what is the key things you will look on me?
Hello, can you all hear me? I know I'm loud normally, but whether this mic works or not, that's what I want to clarify. So the mic is not working. Hello?
Yeah, now it's okay.
How it is? It's turning, yes.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. So, like the same question is posed to, I think, Ganesh. Kind of he gave the answer, I think, to Putral and... yes. So it's like, moreover, pretty much everybody will say the first thing is the people, right? We just see, for me, I'll add another word to it. It's a passionate people. So when you look at a team, whether they have passion for whatever they do, it can be a startup, it can be any kind of business. If they don't have the passion, then the success is rare. That's what I would say. So if I'm not passionate about something, I'll quit doing it. So I look for people, the team which is passionate, which can like grow the company. They can be startup like, see the best part about startup is they don't know their value. So it's very good for the investor to invest in, right? So if you can see through the value, through the team, that is the best part, the first step in it. Number two, I would say, is like, I'm the chief financial officer, you've seen it. So numbers is my key. So financial due diligence. When you look at it, there can be many paper companies. So you need to distinguish between whether your company is going to stand up. So I'm going to look at your numbers and the consistency of the numbers, and also is that going to be a sustainable consistency. So that is the main thing which I'll be looking into the due diligence part. Number three is the industry. So you have seen like my experience is in various industries. I'm very familiar with some of the industries. But if I'm not familiar with that industry that is coming to from my investment table, I'm going to go purely by the numbers. So I'm not going to take risk. But if that industry is known to me and I see the value of the product, I'm going to go for the investment because I know the industry. So which takes me to the last one, which is the strategy. So what strategy I'm going to use on this investment? What is the... Can I hear me? Hello? So this is the first time someone has recommended me to take a mic. I'm so impressed, man. So impressed. Thank you, Arun, for making my day. So the fourth thing I want to talk about is the strategy. So what is the strategy for me when I look at that particular investment, that company, right? So the investment could be, like when I was talking about the industry, right, the segment. So value investing. Is it like I see the value in this place? So sometimes it is underrated when it comes to my attention. I'm not going to take advantage of them, but I'm going to just make them grow together. So when I invest on a startup, I'm not going to be a passive investor. I'm going to be getting inside. I'll see what is the best part about them, what is their weakness. If I can complement the weakness, I'm going to be in. That is the way I look at it. I think I took a lot of time. Thank you.
Thank you. So let's go to, thank you, Gomathy. So, Mr. Maury traveled from Washington, D.C. Thanks, Maury, for visiting Dallas. Mari is having a multi-phase. One is like he is the founder of Samatva Wealth Management and supported a lot of customers, around 500 plus customer families so far. And he is also in the board of advisor in Washington DC Startup Ignite Accelerator. Thanks for coming again, Maury. And,
thank you.
Yeah, so the question, straight question in continuation to what we discussed with Gomathy. What is, I mean, in short, if you can tell, what is the one great success story you've seen from the startup, and what is the utter flop story from the startup? As you are in the board of advisor and startup accelerator, you can share something.
Sure. Yeah, so let me talk about the success, because in any startup, right, through that accelerator program, probably we have mentored around more than 50 startups in the DC area. Out of 50, every cohort, what I'm seeing, it's the same reputation. Out of 8 out of 10, actually, they kind of failed after a couple of years, okay? Only 1 or 2 actually they succeed. That's the reality number, because these are accelerator, the companies they join our accelerator, it's all kind of a very at the seed level, idea stage companies, okay? And the founders are from various backgrounds. So the success story I'll tell you, the company called June Brine, the founder is African American, she's from Stanford PhD. And I met her from day one. I met her, I attended an African American conference event in DC. So accidentally I met her, but she connected with me, and so I'm with this company with almost now 4 years, and also board of advisor, and helped raise funding, and literally you can see she's kind of developed this company from zero to kind of keep going. Right now she's getting almost close to get an FDA approved, because she's developing a basically medical device for MS patient, multiple sclerosis patient, so that they don't have to go to the hospital. They can wear a kind of a glass, so that all the data will be read through retina, and then it will send to the doctor, so that the doctor can take the actions, okay? Even though it's taking time, but she's a very great person, very persistent. And the another thing is she can develop a good team, because I think I keep hearing, right, in order for the startup to be successful, you have to hire great people. The team is very, very critical. I think this person, the CEO, did a very good job. She brought in a very excellent team, and even now they pivoted in the software too. So they are building a software so that any OCT device could use that software. Okay, and they are going to start producing revenue. I think once they get the FDA, I think. And another thing, this person, you won't believe it, she called in person almost thousands of doctors across the US. It's called, technical word is customer validation. So any entrepreneur, whatever the area you're going to do, your customer validation is very, very important. You have to flip each and every stone and talk to each and every doctor. If I build this device, will you use it? What benefits? Okay, so that the ground knowledge is very, very important, right? And when it comes to failure, remember I told you 8 out of 10 kind of fail. A lot of them actually, I did talk to them what happened, because I always meet them when I attend another events, right? They always say, Maury, it's an investor. I couldn't get funding from the investor. It's because of capital, it's money. I'll tell you, that's not the right reason, right? The capital will always find great ideas. Okay, this country, the US, if you look at the success of this country, because they have very beautiful capital allocation system. The reason throughout the world why US is doing so well, because the capital always find great ideas. And that's how you can see all the entrepreneurs become successful in the long run, right? So I think the real reason is, I would say, why these companies fail. I think they didn't add any value to the customer. I think that's a right answer. I think
Thank you. We'll come back to you.
Okay.
So, well, is a final question for you, which I want to combine 2 things. One is like, I know like you are good in generating the cash flow for your customers, and along with that one, like, can you tell like all the options you have and the high risk and reward play right? Where most of the people are not entering, or a few set of people play mostly into high risk reward play. Can you shed some lights?
Sure.
Thank you.
So I help people become financially independent. People are talking about startups and all that. I am talking about individual level, right? You're all entrepreneurs, and I expect you to set aside at least 20% of your income every year and invest separately. That's most important. Don't put all the money back in your own business, right? Cash flow is the key. So how do you become financially independent? You invest in vehicles like apartments, where it gives you, like even Nandan, right? Nandan Realty also gives 8% preferred cash flow, right? So like that, if you invest about $1 million and you get about $80,000 a year, and at that time, if you can survive with that 80,000, you know, you have a lot more freedom to be able to travel, and you don't have to work for money, and definitely you can follow your passion. And when you are passionate and you are not desperate, like Gomathy said, you will be able to attract even more. You work less, but you will be making more money, basically. So some of the things, like if you have $100,000 sitting in your bank, it is making only 0%. We are able to give you 12% with minimum 1 year commitment, and you can also get a lien on a property for that $100,000. And you just give us 2 months notice and we will be able to give you back the money. That is one of the easiest things. So that is because a lot of us need cash, liquid cash, right? So we don't want to just park it in the bank, except for $25,000 for myself. That is one vehicle I have got. Other than that, single family investment, I told you guys like 150,000, it went to 350. Now there is no positive cash flow because the prices have gone up so high, but we still get you houses in Greenville, maybe about 1 hour drive from here, but still we are able to make some positive cash flow. So, and then finally people, those who have been investing in apartments through us and all that, now we are also offering some VC venture capital funds, like minimum $25,000 investment, like Joe, right? So, that is actually promoted by our own folks, Shiva Nataraja, Tamilian. So there are a lot of opportunities, but at the end of the day, you spend time on investment continuously for being your own CEO, for your own finances. Don't entrust it with somebody else. Get educated about what is a cap rate and how the apartments are valued, how they are making money and things like that, and make informed decisions. And accredited investors are, many times. Finally, I also want to talk about oil and gas, where you are saying that you can make a 3x, right? But again, it is pretty risky. We don't recommend that for everybody. That was in the first question. So, gradually you go from, if you have been making only 7%, go to 12%, and then later on you move your way up, and schedule a time with us and we will educate you. Thank you very much.
Perfect. Thank you, Velu sir. I know you want to cover more. Can you turn off your mic? Thank you. Srini sir, 30 seconds for you, because we are running out of the time. To share your experience.
Sure.
What is the exit plan I want to plan if I am investing in that?
Yeah, Brother Shakti is asking my trade secret.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I'm not going to go in detail because that's my trade secret. The thing is, your exit strategy evolves when you make the investment, not after you make the investment. So in case of a speculative land deal, in fact, I moved out of Prosper and Salina about 7 years ago. It's not a speculative market anymore. It's a user priced market. It's not that we don't get deals. Maybe we seldom get deals. You don't want to be in that market right now trying to speculate. You need to move to areas where it is partially green and you can expect the speculation. I'm working on an RV plus rental community and a driving golf range project. I couldn't disclose the location. I have an NDA, but I've been following that for 7 years now. And I thought this is the time for me to, spring into action. So one has to have the patience, one has to pick the right market, and one has to pick the right property. And the exit strategy comes to you all by itself. You don't have to do anything about it.
Great.
But the thing is, you need to have the instincts, and you need to have the right exit. You don't want it, even the same thing applies to stock. You need to know when you need to exit.
So no formula like 3 years, 5 years?
You need to talk to me about that. Yeah. But I do have a 2-year, 5-year, and 10-year strategy that I usually work out. But again, when a client comes to me, I ask them hey, what's your target? Do you want to get out of this investment 2 years, 5 years, 10 years? So based on that, your investment is going to vary as well as your returns are going to vary.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm sure most of us will reach out to you after the session. You can turn off the mic. Thank you. Gomathy, so you are a little bit of unique because you
I'm
are...
a little bit unique. I'm unique.
So you involved in manufacturing, right? Horticulture. You want to open your business ideas because I personally, until I met you, Sharad, I was not seeing someone in common entrepreneurs into manufacturing from my knowledge. So can you please do some insight into that, if you can?
Definitely there'll be more people into manufacturing, and it's a privilege to just do a diversification because we love diversification. And basically I would like to live a non-karmic life. People would have known me who knows I like organic stuff and I do yoga, pranayama, all those, right? So I'd like to live a non-karmic life. And the product which impressed us is an organic soil substrate company. So we started it from the scratch. I would say, Sharad, would you agree it's like an accident we started, but it became a very good one for us. So we started that, and when you talk about manufacturing, it is not an easy one. When we are talking about, everybody were talking about IT job. Oh, tech company, startup, be beautiful, very nice, right? But here you're going to deal with blue collar job, completely different aspect, completely different perspective. You're going to just have a lot of problems. You need to be ready for it. I'm not scaring you, but know what you're getting into. All right. So it's going to be a completely different animal. And Ganesh was mentioning about it. I don't have a garage story. Here I can tell we have a garage story. We started our company in our garage, and without any equipment, we started our soil mixing company. Can you just believe that? We did it. So both me and my husband are hard workers, and that is one of the things which should help, because you need to be working really hard on it. And from the garage to a small warehouse, and we have a 10-acre property right now. And we have it in East Texas. The main thing with respect to the challenges with the import-export and everything is like your ocean freight, demurrage costs. You won't believe it. You end up paying. We make a lot of mistakes, but we learn from it. All right. So anyone needs any help with any import-export, please come to us. We have experience to help you. And mainly when we just do a startup investment, it's more of helping our community more. So we want to just give our hands, hey, you're weak at it, let me help you. And put the hand together and do it. So anything on manufacturing and on the logistics side, please come to us and we will help you out. Okay, thanks.
Sure, I'm sure most of us will reach out to you. Thank you for that info. I know it can be, everyone can speak in detail for an hours and hours, but after the session, I'm sure most of us will connect with you. Thank you for that. Mark, one last question with you. Everyone is bringing the money to the table with variety of expertise. When it comes to you, so what is the advice you can give for everyone and even to the panel, if you want to give one, right? In saving the business tax and all of the stuff.
Okay. Before I get into the taxes, since most of you are from entrepreneurs, and as a community service, whenever I do any session, two things I'll always mention. So first thing is, take care of your family, right? The family financial risk. Because what I'm finding is in our community, many of them don't even have the right term life insurance coverage. So as an entrepreneur, you're already making a huge risk, right? You're investing everything in your business, right? So make sure that you have the right insurance coverage for you, right? Then next thing is will and trust, the estate planning. And if you have a minor kids, make sure that at a minimum appoint a guardian through will. The trust is the best thing to do. So please do that, and you can definitely claim as an expense, right? But unfortunately, in our community, many of them are not doing, and please spend some time. There are a lot of easy, it's not going to cost that much, and you can start with the very simple, and then you can customize it as things progress, okay? Then next thing is, let me come to the taxes. So as an entrepreneur, right, if you look at the corporate tax, let's say you have a corporation, it's taxed at 21%. And if you have like a pass-through entity like LLC S Corp, once you make more than 300K or 350K, it will be taxed at more than 30%, right? And if it's a capital gains, if you hold it for a year, it's only 20%, even if it's above 500K, even it could be million or billion. Same thing with the dividend, right? So these are the tax rate. So always plan for the long term. Don't go to the CPA at the last minute. To minimize the taxes, you have to start in January of every year. Calculate your projected income and calculate your projected expenses, right? Then you can see, okay, what kind of entity will make sense.
So considering the time, so inshallah, like you're saying, to start early and go for long term.
Correct. Yeah, there are a lot of ways, techniques are, it's all legal, you can save a lot.
And thank you. And thank you everyone for hearing it patiently. And thank you Mr. Arun, Mr. Sriram for giving this opportunity, and thank you all the volunteers for making this function grand. Thank you.